Galileo Galilei is one of the most important figures in the history of science. He lived from 1564 to 1642, a time when people were starting to question old ideas about nature, space, and the universe. Galileo is often called the father of modern science because of the way he used experiments, careful observations, and mathematics to understand how the world works. His ideas helped change science forever, but they also brought him into serious conflict with the powerful Catholic Church. Galileo was born in Pisa, Italy, in 1564. His father was a musician who encouraged him to think independently and question accepted beliefs. As a young boy, Galileo was very curious. He liked to study the world around him and ask questions about how things worked. At first, his father wanted him to become a doctor, so Galileo went to the University of Pisa to study medicine. However, Galileo soon realized he was more interested in mathematics and natural philosophy, so he left without finishing his degree. Even without a degree, he continued to study on his own and learned quickly. During his early adult life, Galileo worked as a mathematics teacher. He first taught in Pisa and later in Padua. While teaching, he also studied physics. At that time, many people believed in the ideas of the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle. Aristotle had taught that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones. Galileo questioned this idea. According to popular stories, though not proven, he dropped 2 balls of different weights from the Leaning Tower of Pisa to test Aristotle's claim. Whether or not this exact event happened, Galileo did perform experiments showing that objects fall at the same rate regardless of their weight, as long as air resistance does not affect them. This was an important step in proving that scientific ideas should be based on evidence, not simply on tradition. In Padua, Galileo also studied motion. He used ramps and rolling balls to discover how objects accelerate. He showed that the speed of a falling object increases as it falls. This was a major discovery in physics and a foundation for later scientists such as Isaac Newton. Galileo's method testing ideas through experiments was new for his time and is now considered a key part of modern science. Galileo became even more famous when he turned his attention to the sky. In 1609, he heard about a new invention from the Netherlands, the telescope. Galileo improved the design and built his own, which was much stronger than the original version. With this new tool, he looked at the heavens and saw things no one had seen before. One of his first discoveries was that the surface of the moon was not smooth, as people had long believed. Instead, it had mountains and craters. This challenged the ancient idea that all heavenly bodies were perfect and unchanging. Galileo also observed thousands of stars that had never been visible to the naked eye. He discovered that the Milky Way is made up of countless stars. Perhaps his most important discovery came in early 1610. When he looked at Jupiter, he noticed 4 small stars moving around the planet. After watching them for several nights, he realized they were moons orbiting Jupiter. This was shocking because it showed that not everything in the heavens revolved around the Earth. Until then, most people believed in the geocentric model, which said Earth was at the center of the universe and everything else moved around it. These discoveries supported an idea proposed by the Polish astronomer Nicolaus Copernicus. Copernicus had suggested that the Sun, not the Earth, was at the center of the universe. This is called the heliocentric model. Galileo became a strong supporter of this idea. However, the Catholic Church taught that the Earth was the center of creation, and many church leaders believed the heliocentric model went against the Bible. Because of this, Galileo's views made him a controversial figure. In 1610, Galileo published a book called The Starry Messenger, describing his discoveries. It made him famous across Europe. He soon became the chief mathematician and philosopher to the Grand Duke of Tuscany, a very prestigious position. Galileo continued to argue for the heliocentric system, believing the evidence from his telescope proved it was correct. But not everyone agreed. Many scholars and church officials felt threatened by Galileo's ideas. They believed he was challenging their authority and the accepted understanding of the universe. In 1616, the church warned Galileo not to teach or defend the Copernican model. Galileo obeyed this order for a while, but he still believed he could discuss the idea as a mathematical theory. In 1632, Galileo published another book called Dialogue Concerning the Two Chief World Systems. The book compared the geocentric and heliocentric models in the form of a conversation between 3 characters. Although Galileo claimed he was neutral, it was clear he supported the heliocentric model. Church authorities were not pleased. They believed Galileo had broken their instruction and used the book to promote Copernicus's ideas. As a result, Galileo was called to Rome in 1633 to stand trial before the Roman Inquisition, the church court responsible for dealing with heresy. After a long and difficult trial, he was found guilty of vehement suspicion of heresy. Galileo was forced to publicly deny his belief that the earth moves around the sun. According to legend, after making his denial, he whispered, "And yet it moves," but there is no proof he actually said this. Galileo was not sent to prison, but he was sentenced to house arrest for the rest of his life. Despite these restrictions, he continued to work. While confined to his home, he wrote 2 new sciences, which summarized his earlier work on motion and strength of materials. This book became one of the most important scientific texts of the time and strongly influenced modern physics. Galileo died in 1642 at the age of 77. He did not live to see his ideas fully accepted, but his work laid the foundation for much of modern science. His insistence on using observation, experimentation, and mathematics helped create the scientific method. His discoveries in astronomy challenged old beliefs and opened a new era of scientific exploration. Galileo's courage in defending his ideas, even against powerful opposition, has made him a symbol of the struggle for truth and intellectual freedom. Today, Galileo Galilei is remembered not only as a brilliant scientist, but also as a thinker who changed the way humans understand the universe. His legacy continues to inspire scientists and students around the world.